welcome. My name's Sam and this is The Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to our final project for this week's or this month's Scrapbook Workshop Kit of the month, Life in Bloom. Now, if you saw Mondays and Wednesdays, you will know I'm documenting my grandchildren on an Easter egg hunt from 2023, I think it was. And I've used the whole project for this one particular day. So I had lots of photographs, I wanted to use them, and this project with all the beautiful flowers in it was absolutely perfect. So this is my final project for the same thing. I'm still doing my grandchildren. So I've got my Life in Bloom instruction manual. I have got all my papers cut out, and I've got a few extras which I will show you as we go along. So the first thing we've got is two pieces of paper, designed at 12 by 12 pieces of paper. And what you will notice is, as in the previous ones, each page doesn't match, i.e. the background page doesn't match. So should you wish to, you could use this as single sheets for your designer series, your scrapbooking pages. But I am going to use mine as a carry-on. And you'll notice that in each of my corners, top left, bottom right, I have got previous glue dots that I used from Wednesday. So here we are with the final project and the papers. Now, this paper here is gorgeous. I'm loving the way this happens. It's just so pretty. Almost a shame to cover it up, but I'm glad to say that the papers that they've got here, that aren't a vast amount, and they're not going to cover up too much. But the first thing I want to do is I want to layer my photographs. So on the left hand page I have got a 6x4 and then I have a 3x4 as well. Now this should have been landscape, but all my photographs, as I explained before, just seem to be in the portrait. So I'm going to sort it out. Here, this page, this is going to be used for the photographs. Now, I get my photographs printed. They all come to me at 6x4 and then I cut them down. There are some very talented people out there who are able to print out their photographs and print them the right size. But for me, that's just a bit too much. So I have cut my 6x4s down just to make sure that they fit on the piece of paper. So I can't tell you what size they are. They're just a random size that I know that fits on this piece of paper. This one is a 3x4 and it will go onto here. So let's use my Stampin' Seal. She says, here we go. And I will pop that on there. And I'll place that myself in its position. Then I've got a 6x4 photograph, but I've actually got three. So I've got one of my granddaughter here on her own, which I'm going to use as the base card. And as I did in Wednesday's video, I have got myself a flip flap and I have already put two photographs in, one there and one there of my son carrying her. And there we go. That will go onto there like so. Let's stick these ones down so we know that they're in the rightful place as well. So I'm going to pop that one there. And then I've got room for this one here. Little miss looking at her inside the cabin to see what her big brother's up to. There we go. Right. So there is the photographs stuck down. Okay, so let's bring in the other papers. And as I said, there aren't a vast amount and they're not huge. So they're not going to cover up too much of this beautiful paper. So the basis is this one here. Goes at around about, I would say 6 inches, so that you get a bit of this and a bit of that. So let's do that. Let's just go around. Ooh. And we'll put it at 6 inches. Now there is a corresponding one for the other side, so let's do that as well. Just because, well, it corresponds. There we go. So there we are. Okay, so it literally, the line just follows through. So the next thing to do is to add our spotted strip. Okay, so that's going to go at I'm going to put the bottom at the 5-inch. And make sure it's the same on this side. Bottom at the 5-inch. There we are. Perfect. Do the same on the other side. Just rub that off. And the reason for doing this is if it stands in a double page spread and it's side by side, it shows that it just carries on the theme and it makes it look all nice and pretty. Yeah, there we go. So then the next thing to do is to add our next strip. One and that one there too. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to put vast amount of Stampin' Seal across it. You'll find that with the photographs being over it and things like that, it will keep it all into place. So just a little bit to help is good enough. There we go. So let's see what else we've got. We can, so that goes there. Now if it was in the portrait, oh sorry, in the landscape, it would sit there. So I'm going to wander and see if I can do it that way, because I think that would work. Yes, I'm liking that. And then that will sit over the top there. It doesn't cover up the photograph of my grandson, so that is good. Right, I'm happy with that. So the next thing to do is to bring in our flowers. So that will go down there like that and come out. Okay, so that's where we're going to go. Let's stick those down first of all. So what the easiest way of doing this is to just put glue on the large sections that you've got coming through, and that will, bit there I haven't popped out, there we go, that will help keep them in place. So they'll go underneath the photograph, there we go, and then we can just keep it in place with our glue there, which now I can stick this one down. High, if it goes up to 11, that can go up to 11. See how you change your mind just as you, it's weird, isn't it? But there we go, and that's going to, that'll go there, I think. Yeah, I'm liking that. So I'll just go across there. But yeah, you'll find that you'll put these things down and then go, yeah, yes, and then you'll change it. But that's fine, that works. Okay, so what else have I got? I have got Simple Joy, which I'm going to put there. I don't want it to cover up here because obviously little man's face. And then I'm going to pop this one here that says Treasure This. But first I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my circle. I'm going to add that to there. The flowers go, because of the way that they've, the way that the photographs are, put my teeth back in, we'll be fine. You can find that you are fine. Should we start again? The way the photographs are, because mine are portrait and one was meant to be portrait and one was meant to be landscape, you're going to have to move your embellishments around, but it's totally up to you the way you put the embellishments. There we go. You see, I can speak the Queen's English. Right, okay, so this maybe we'll pop it up on dimensionals. There we go. There we are. Come on. Perfect. Right, let's slide that down. There we are. So that's the Simple Joys. Let's add a bit of that. And that fits in there. Don't want to cover up her welly boot. So I'm going to add that one in there. So let's do that one is going to go there. And then this one is going to go there. Again, let's add a dimensional. Just so that it's, give it a little bit of a rise. Makes it easier to pop it over. There we go. Like that. Actually, maybe we'll put the treasure of this here. How do we put it here? There for a moment. I'm going to leave it there for a moment and I'll come back to it once I've done this one over here. Right, okay, let's have a look at this one. So this is the final page. And we've got another beautiful trellis, this time in Coastal Cabana. So we're going to bring the page over this way so we can bring this in like so. Now the journaling, it goes here. There we go, let's get the journaling in. Again, I'm not going to stick the journaling down until I've written on it. Let's go like that. Pops up to there. Now what have I got? Let's have a look. Got some flowers. I've got good times. That could go there. I've got some big flowers that can go here. Let's do that first of all. Okay, so let's stick this down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just literally going to run it down there. Now I know that it's sticky on both sides, but once I've stuck it down and my photograph's down, it will be fine because you won't see it. So there goes the 11. And let's put that there. So that's stuck down. Whoa. There. Now we can afford to put our this on the top. So you're going to bring it over so it covers up the glue. That will help keep it into place. There we go. Perfect. What else have I got? So that would go there. I've got a body tag there. I'm not sure if I want it. Maybe if I put it here. Might do that, because then that incorporates that through there, doesn't it? Random. That can go there. We're going to pop this flower here, down like that. I'm not going to push it down too much because I want to be able to get my sentiment, my journaling in there. Possibly can. Let's take this and pop that over there. Now I've got a flower that can come down here. covers up that bit. But I've also got this added piece that I can add on should I wish to. It could come out, here so that it comes over the trellis maybe. Do you know, I think that might work. I think I might like that. Right, let's take that out and work it out. So what we're going to do is it just peels off. It's quite thin. It brings in the flowers, matching this one over to this side, because there didn't have to be any over here. So I'm just going to bring that underneath. And we're going to pop the trellis down. Hopefully not get it stuck on my fingers without tearing it. Stop. Thank you very much. There we go. So this is obviously very sticky. There we go. So we've got the trellis there. Lovely. And if you wanted to, I suppose you could have popped it under. No, I've glued it down. Never mind. There we go. That will give me room to put my sentiment on there. I will take those off. And I think that is that. That is the final part of my project of my grandchildren off on their adventures on their Easter egg hunt. So thank you ever so much for joining me this week. Oh, hello. We forgot to this one, didn't we? Let's do that now. Let's pop that up there before we forget. Because you'll know what happened. I'll take the photographs and everything will fall out. And I've forgotten to put this one on as well. Goodness gracious me. There we go. Oh well. So thank you ever so much for joining me this week. I hope you like this project as much as I have. I've had great fun with it. I'm really happy that I've documented this event, and I'm happy with the papers that go with it. So thank you ever so much, and I'll be back next Monday. See you then. Take care. Bye.